have a business plan and maybe, work and learn the concept of the whole thing, be an assistant to somebody for a while, and then you could see which way, because we just have to find what you like and really speak to professionals on putting it together.
Yeah. Rose.
Lynn.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
The Giver's Gain Show is a show that was created to really help agents that are coming into the market and to learn from experienced agents that have been successful. And you've been in real estate over 10 years. How long have you been in real estate?
Probably like 23 years.
2 decades.
So
2 decades.
I've been around, yeah.
Yeah. I've been in mortgages for 20 years,
Yeah.
so that makes sense.
Yeah, we're about the same.
Yes, yes. So you have, I've known you my whole life, so I know you on a personal level and a professional level. I feel like working with you professionally is a gift, because we're such good friends. And I wanted you to come on the show because you have a unique skill set, and I wanted you to be able to share that with the agents that are coming into the market, and how you've been so successful and how you've been able to navigate it all throughout all these years.
Thank you for having me, Lynn, and for wanting to know about that.
Of course.
It hasn't been easy, and the one thing is you just never give up, and you got to keep pushing through and learning. So, obtain your certifications, your GRI, your ABR. That helps a lot in real estate. Extra knowledge and showing up is basically the key to real estate.
Yeah.
Any job, but real estate, it's a people business.
Yeah, I was listening to something today that they said, the people that think they're going to be replaced by AI, they just don't realize how important that the face-to-face is going to become. Yeah. Because people still want guidance.
Right. And
something that you are great at is being able to connect with people and get into their world and understand what's going on in their world and where does that come from. I know it seems like a family trait because your family's like that, but you just have such a beautiful way of connecting with people.
I think it's just being the oldest of six kids, and coming from, and I guess I'm a child of immigrants, and being in charge of the family and being like the fixer, and taking care of everybody all the time. And then being in the restaurant business also for many years, and growing up, I've always been around people. So I can really feel and sense what they need and what they want. And then when you're meeting with a seller or a buyer, they want to buy or they want to sell. So I know, I feel like who they are and what's the best thing for them financially, and how they would like it, what they like. So
I think one of the harder things to do is sometimes, because being in the business for 23 years, you have highs and lows,
Yes.
and there's times when you're flying high, and there's times when you're going through shifts, and you've got to find creative ways of staying afloat. But one of the things that I've seen you do time and time again is, no matter what's going on in your life, and you have a lot, you have a huge family, and they have their needs, and then you have your son, and you've got a lot of things. And in business, you have real estate, you handle that. But one thing is I've always see you stay so true to is that you stay very committed to the person, and whatever's going on in your life, nobody knows. Nobody ever knows. Like, your clients know you always put what's best for them.
Right.
Yeah.
I try not to make it about me.
Yeah.
And throughout the years, it's not easy, but whatever challenges came up, we get divorced.
Yeah.
We lose a home. Short sales came up. Got a second job.
Yeah.
2 or 3 times throughout my 20 years in the business, 23, 24 years in the business. And one particular job that I lost my home in a short sale at that time. I had to make it, we had to make a decision, and I got a job, like waiting on tables. So the first night that I started, the realtor that brought the buyer to my own home was sitting at the table with her family and looks up at me and says, like, what are you doing here? And I'm like, well, we just short sold my home, right? And I need to keep going.
Yeah.
So that was not easy,
Yes.
but I let go of the ego right there and then, and stayed there for 4 years until I had my life back up in order. In the meantime, I became respected. I waited on a lot of realtors after showing their $800,000 home that week or something. It was just bizarre. And the other thing is I said, well, this isn't just about the tips. This is about engaging with the community because it was local. I didn't go work in a restaurant that was in another county so nobody would know me, I stayed local. So I made not only tips, but I happened to have sold a couple of homes that year as well. And then I did that for 4 years and got through what I had to go through. And that was one of the jobs I got throughout my career to get me to the next step. And then one day it stopped doing that job, and here I am.
You evolved out of it.
I evolved out of it.
I've seen you just really take advantage of every opportunity you could in the most beautiful way, but always never too proud to do whatever it is that you needed to do to be successful. You just did what you needed to do.
And I tried to be around people that want good for you, because the people that don't, or you should just get away from them, because the people that want good for me are the people that took me to that next step.
Yes.
And it's not many, but all you need is a couple. And I am where I am because of them.
So tell me a little bit about that. I know you've had some relationships with a few families that have been, they wouldn't make a move without you. They 100%
They trust me 100%.
Trust you. They just give you carte blanche to do what you need to do to help them in real estate. What do you think it is about you? And I ask you, I know you're so humble and you don't.
I know where it comes from.
Tell me.
It comes from my dad asking for something to be done. I need this done or that done, and there's no way I would have not did it. Find a way to do it, and nothing illegal.
Yeah.
But paperwork or this came in the mail and I don't understand it, so I had to figure it out. Business wise, or he owned restaurants and he didn't write or read English, so I was the one that always had to figure it out.
Yeah.
So when a customer asks me and I don't know the answer, I just go find it.
Yes.
So I'll go find, if one attorney doesn't give me the answer, then I'll go to 2 more, or an accountant or whatever they need, and then I help them get through whatever they need.
Right.
And then I fixed it. So
Yes.
that's what I do. And in the meantime, along this journey of helping people and just finding answers for them, I learn. So then a next person comes up to me, or I'm working with a new seller, a new buyer, and I'm like, oh yeah, we did that. I did that in the past. This is how you could do this. So I'll have an answer. So it's just always being in everything.
Yeah.
And doing.
And finding. One of the common factors is and anyone that I've spoken to and have come onto the show is that they have the solution. The most successful people are solution-based. And
correct.
What you add to that is not just solution-based thinking, but also the resources. Whether you know where to go or not know where to go, you're resourceful.
Right.
It's just a part of who you are.
Right.
And you find solutions, you find ways of being resourceful to get whatever it is that needs to get done. Legally.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but for real,
Yeah.
you find resources.
Yes.
You're not afraid of asking to get what you need to be. When you have a job to do, you do everything you need to do to make sure that job is done.
Correct. And in 2023, the year started to kind of fade off, that I was like, well, there was a change going on, and I thought, wow, what are we in for? It's going to get quiet. And we got quiet, like 2023, it started for me anyway.
Yeah.
So I obtained my community association manager license, and I thought, let me explore this property management, and that really helped me because it got me out of kind of like a low in real estate with trying to take in this change and what's going on with so many different things, and coming out of a pandemic, everybody was like out of whack. Everything's out of whack, right? So it helped me. It got me out of the house. I've learned like a tremendous amount of knowledge. I have just managing a portfolio of 8 associations. So working with different board members, different people, different skills. I can't tell you that I didn't cry my first year. It was brutal, just like real estate was. My first few years when you're learning something, it's hard, but you just got to wipe the tears and just keep going. And ultimately, now we'll see where this leads me, you know, in my future
with the new knowledge.
And the license too.
Right.
So yes, doing everything legally is very important.
Of course.
So that's why I brought up that license.
Yeah, and now you have another tool in your tool belts.
Exactly.
You know, so when you have been in, you know, I remember there was a time where you were farming consistently in a neighborhood, and then there was a time where it wasn't really hitting, and all of a sudden, remember, you had like 11 listings show up. It was like this crazy number.
It was a miracle.
It was. And what do you think that attributed to? Because, you know, when we're starting a marketing campaign, or we're starting something, the unknown result, like we're kind of feel like we're just kind of taking a shot to see what will happen, but then all of a sudden it works. Can you walk us through what it was like when it wasn't working, and then what it was like when it started to work? Like what did it take in you to get to the point where you hit that?
Well, it's a true story. So, you know, this is the moment that I decided. It was in 2016. So everybody was kind of like busy, you know, it was a good time. But it was a time for me that was a challenging time, that I did get divorced. So I said, I had a few $1,000s in my checking account, but I said I have to market. And I did, and it returned. And I started getting a call, and then another call, and then another call, and I didn't know what was happening. But because of that, I was able to buy my own condo, where I'm safe, and I don't have to rent. You know, I'm very fortunate that I have my family who let me stay with them until I was able to
buy your place.
Yeah, buy the place. But I was literally running, creating listing packets, and I was exhausted from all the appointments.
That's amazing.
And I want that again.
I know, I remember that. I was like, I couldn't believe it. It was just wild. But, you know, it was the perseverance, to be able to...
But real estate is that high and low. And when you're on that high, on the peaks and valleys. So when you're at that peak, you got to ride it as long as you can. And buy a property, or, you know, put that money away, or invest in it. Invest your money, because if you're taking buy a big truck, or you're taking a vacation, and that $50,000 or $100,000 goes to something ridiculous like that, you're never going to go ahead in life. So those real estate, you have to catch it at that peak. Because when you're in the valleys, you're educating yourself, you're connecting with people, you're revamping your business, and that never stops, ever. So.
Yeah, I mean, I know as I've gone through different shifts in the market myself, I know that I've had this mindset of positioning. I remember I was pregnant with my son Joey. It was 16 years ago. He just turned 16. So I was 16 years ago. I remember being 8 months pregnant, sitting in my office and thinking to myself, wow, the market's shifting quickly. I need to take a position. And it's like the whole who moved my cheese, just where is the cheese going? And you've been very successful at finding your cheese, and the thing is that even though it has its dips and highs and lows, you have every dip have put yourself in a better position. So even though it does go up and down, you know, now as the market has shifted, you own real estate now, you have units, and you have more than you did the last time you were in that situation, because you invested in yourself.
Well, I had nothing in 2016.
I mean,
and then having the right people in your life. So I, at that time, had gone to another real estate company, which I turned the corner, and who do I bump into? You. So, you know, having the right people, which one of them is you.
Thank you.
That you're always there for my buyers, even my sellers. If they have questions, it's really important to have that person, you know, and you're growing, and I see your growth, which inspires. So now with Troy, also, I know I can get an answer with Troy, you know, and it's just great. So it's a good team.
I always want to get better. Troy and I have a rule. The book that I bought you it's from that book. It's called Buy Back Your Time. But the reason why I got that book for you is because Troy and I have a rule. And it's so easy when things are going wrong to cast blame. But what that does is it creates
Right.
defensiveness.
That's right.
And I know my heart, I know Troy's heart, I know your heart is to do what's best for people.
Right.
And sometimes things are going to happen and we're going to miss the mark a little bit. So what we have trained ourselves to do is two things. It's the Atomic Habits and Buy Back Your Time. Those two books we've kind of merged into our business. And it's like, okay, we take from Buy Back Our Time, we look at our process and we say, okay, where did the process or where did the system fail? And then we put a system in place so that we don't have that issue again. Rather than saying you did this or you did that or why did you, no, it's like, okay, did we have a system issue?
Right.
And then if people don't follow the system, now we have a people problem. But most of the time it's not a person, it's usually the system fails. And you don't know because the Atomic Habits is just get a little bit better every day.
And that's my case. Because my case is, and I'm not putting myself down, but when you don't go to college or you don't have the education that I could have taken a marketing class or, my parents were in the real estate business, my parents made pizza. So that's not really going to help me but feed the realtors. I forgot what I was saying.
Your family wasn't able to help you because they were making pizzas, so you needed to get the education other places.
Right. So that's real estate gave me that. So it took a few years for me not to feel that I should have went to college. That should have, would have. I had to get out of the should have, would have, and just continue. Every time I took a class, every time I got a certification, I just felt the confidence grew. So I would say probably for me, my 12th or 13th year in the business is when I really felt like a true professional. Like now I'm like, I feel confident.
Yeah.
And that confident, like you really feel it.
Yeah.
And that's what it took for me.
Yes. And so that's interesting because speaking to agents that are coming into the business, it's an overwhelming thing.
Oh yeah, I remember what I had to say.
Oh, tell me, go.
Okay, so what I had to say is if I can go back, what I'd really, really do first is set up my business. So when you open a restaurant, you get the location and the equipment and the menu and all of this, you put everything in order. And I kind of went to the broker and you have your listing packet, you have your buyer's packet, you have your contracts, you have your this, but I didn't really put together my business. So what does that look like? How can I grow my business? How can I obtain a business where I can grow it to get that assistant? And then that assistant, I can bring in the buyer's agent and start working smarter instead of harder. So I've just been educating myself and working in the business and showing this property and going to all the listing appointments and working all the buyers and not really paying attention to how to structure my real estate business so I can grow and open up, my own team. Not necessarily, you don't have to open up your brokerage, let's say, and have all this responsibility, but at least a team so you can have a little business going. And that's my new goal. That's where I'm going next.
That's awesome. Yeah, I remember years ago, I think it was IBM, if I remember correctly, I think it was IBM, and they said that that they treated the company like a Fortune 500 company from when it's very started.
Yes.
And so it's like it gives you room to grow into the business, and then it's like you're just tweaking as you go.
Yeah. That's why I said about the education, or if you have parents that were in the business, at least not even real estate, but any kind of corporate business, or I'm not blaming my parents, but when you don't have that and you don't have that education, you're doing, I did it just learning by asking and, literally going to the broker, is this right? Should I do it like this? Should I do it like that? Like not being embarrassed that I didn't know the answer, not being embarrassed that I didn't know how to do that, or just asking for help.
Yes. And
the people will help you.
Yeah.
The people that you work with around in your office will help you.
I have to say that one of the things I think is the biggest attribute to success when you're starting in real estate, from my view looking in, is exactly what you just said, because it's surrounding yourself with people that you can rely on to ask questions. And there's a process, like the transaction has a process.
Right.
Once you get familiar with that, then it's just like, how do I make this experience the best I can for the person that I'm working with? And then you just develop it over, and it never ends.
No. And believe me, I've had a broker say to me, like, what now? And I just was shocked. And I thought, well, if I thought that I would be a problem, then I wouldn't have made it in this business. Like I had to realize that she doesn't, or they didn't realize, that I just wanted to help, and I just wanted to learn, and I just wanted to know if I was only like maybe a couple of years in the business. So I just didn't know. I'm like, something is weird with this contract. Can you look it over? Can you help me? And if they don't want to give you your time, then their time, they're not the right fit.
Yeah.
So your fit is really, really important.
Yeah.
And I am now in the right fit, thank God.
Right. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Having support is the key, because there's a learning curve.
Yeah.
But it's being able to take action. There's only so much you can do before you take action. You have to take action and put the systems in place. Take action, put the systems in place. Even today, we always say on our meetings, when Troy and I have a meeting, my partner, we always say we never fail, we always learn, because there's something we could do every day to get better. And we've been doing this a long time.
That's right.
But systems change, contracts change, programs change. So although from beginning to end is somewhat the same, the in-between really matters, the details really matter, but those details come over time.
Right. And in today's world, where you have to be almost like a movie star, because you have to create these videos, not like this where you're sitting and it's calm and we're talking about things, but you're in front of a house, and you have to create all this drama about, look at this house, and it's hard for certain people to do that. So you have to keep learning and keep doing and throwing yourself in front of videos like I'm doing now, and making myself, I guess, uncomfortable, because then I know this is going to be good, because I'm uncomfortable. I have to push myself to do it, and that's what I'm trying to, just believe in yourself, and it's hard to do that.
Step outside, and if you feel so good once you've done something that you were afraid to do.
It's not that hard.
Yeah, exactly.
I just make it really hard.
We tell ourselves so much. We talk ourselves out of being great, but I know for sure you're committed to being great, because you're always looking to get better, and that's awesome. I feel like that's such a youthful but yet wise way of living. Learning.
It's my way. It's what's helped me get this far.
Yeah, you just, Pat, our president, Pat, always says, I'm not for everything, but I am for everyone. And you're like that, because you don't have to agree with everybody, but you are you want everyone to be successful. You'll do everything it takes for them to be successful.
Yes.
Yeah. What had you get into real estate in the first place? Was there any specific?
It's a good question.
What was the turning point?
Well, we owned a restaurant in Weston. So we owned that for about, at this point, maybe 3 or 4 years. And at that point, I was probably in my mid-30s. So I made it, I said, I don't want to do this anymore. I mean, this is, I'm not dressed up on a Saturday going out to dinner. This isn't enough, And we decided to sell the restaurant. And then one day, a mortgage person said to me, you'd probably be a good realtor. You should go get your license. And I was like, what? That was in 2002.
Wow.
So I proceed to go to get my license, and I go to class, and I open the door. No lie, there was like 200 people in that class. It was packed.
Yeah.
And I was like overwhelmed, and I thought, I'm not going to pass. I mean, I haven't been in school in a long time, and again, my confidence is low because I didn't go to college, and education, I was scared. So then I proceeded to sit down, and I bumped into a really good friend of mine, and together we supported each other through the class, passed the first time.
Amazing. Joined
a brokerage the following week, who was a customer in my restaurant. And that's it. And I just never stopped.
That's unbelievable.
So again, there I did both.
Yeah.
I had my restaurant and did real estate. So throughout the years, there was 1 year that I obtained a job, and because it was the foreclosure market, the short sale market, and it was something new. So again, just being kind of new in the business, because that was in 2005, so I was only in the business a few years. The short sales were really something,
those big
detailed.
Oh yeah.
It impacted us in
absolutely.
a big way. So
it was something that was always known. Short sales always existed, but in that market,
we didn't have any.
I mean,
abundance of them.
We got hit with a storm of them.
Yes.
Yeah, and learning how to navigate that was
That's
a
right.
skill. That was a new skill, even though the concepts of the short sale always existed.
Right.
We didn't have a lot of them, and then all of a sudden we were like short sale city.
Right.
And it was crazy.
You and I, if you remember, well, I'm, you know, as a customer, and I received an email, and that she's requesting help. And she says, you know, my husband left, and I think I'm not going to be able to sell the house for how much I owe. And can you help me? Well, of course.
Yeah.
So I went to the appointment, and she was my first short sale.
Yes.
And that changed our life, you know.
Yes.
And then later we were able to help this customer regain her credit, and I sold her a townhome, and you did the mortgage.
Yeah.
So,
you know, I feel like one of the skills is being able to.
Oh, and she, through the years, she rented, and that was hard. So you have to be, I was like empathetic with her, saying, don't worry, you're going to rent for a couple of years, and then you're going to become a homeowner again, which we made that happen.
Yeah. I think it's like, I was just about to say the same thing, is just being able to give people foresight.
Yes.
Especially when you're an agent, you're walking into a home, they can't always see it. You know, they can't see what's available to them. And being able to foresee for someone, especially because when someone's buying a home, it's an emotional process, and a lot of fear comes in. And being able to show them the end result and keep them on task, I feel like is a trait. It's a very important skill.
Oh, yeah.
Not being afraid of that.
Right.
Yeah. Anything else you would think to say to a newer agent coming into the business? Something that a lesson from Rose that you think, as far as branding or marketing, anything you think that would be helpful?
Before you get in the business, I mean, you can always go and obtain your real estate license. I think that having your real estate license is always a good thing, but probably work for someone for a year, and learn how to open up your own, create a business plan. So have a business plan, and maybe, you know, work and learn the concept of the whole thing, you know, be an assistant to somebody for a while, and then you could see which way, because real estate you could do in a few different ways. It doesn't have to only work as like a residential listing and buyer's agent, or listing agent only, or a buyer's agent only. You know, I would create, how can I create a big real estate business for myself? And what would I need to do?
Yeah.
How can I have buyers, sellers, renters, you know, all these kind of avenues that we can go, and how can I make that into a business?
Yeah.
And then ultimately, if you are a specialist only, you become a specialist only in listings, or only in buyers, then fine. Or buyers and sellers, and not in renting or property management. But you can go in so many different ways.
Yeah.
You just have to find what you like, and really speak to professionals on putting it together.
Yeah, I was speaking with some friend of ours yesterday she said that someone, an experienced agent, didn't want to do a rental. This was
Correct.
years ago.
I hear that all the time.
And she took the rental, and the person loved her, referred it to her mother. I mean, she sold like $3 million in real estate.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because one person can change your life.
Yeah.
All it takes is a phone call.
Yeah. And
one person.
And serving that person properly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it happened to me where I bumped into somebody I knew, and literally in Outback on our way out. By the time I got in my car, I got a phone call that they wanted to meet with me, and those people have changed my real estate career.
I love that.
Back then.
Yeah.
And I've been working with them for the past 12 years.
Being in the right place.
Not only that, but they're friends, and it's like a family to me.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, having people in your life like that is so important.
They changed my career.
Yeah, I know that.
They enhanced it.
For sure. They give you a lot of support. Well, they believed in you. Yeah, they believed in your ability to be resourceful.
I mean, they called and I went. You know, they want to see this, or they want to do that, or you do it, and then you're learning. You don't, you know, you just. It wasn't all easy. Nothing's easy.
Yeah. What about scheduling? Do you think, as far as your schedule and stuff, do you do anything specific to keep you on track? I know you've been doing the cam stuff as well, but anything specific that Rose does for Rose to stay on track?
Through the years, I really tried to stay on track. You know, like attend all the any meetings that the office has. You know, try and create a prospecting time in the day. I need to work on that and be better at that. Being a CAM the last couple of years has taught me to schedule. So this is one of the reasons that one of the things I've learned from being a CAM. I went to the office, and my boss would say, "You don't have to come to the office. You could, you know, work from." I go, "Yeah, but I like the discipline."
Sure.
So it taught me discipline. And I already am hard on myself.
Yeah.
So, but even though you're hard on yourself and you are self-made, I don't need anybody to like kind of push me.
Yeah.
You can still be lost.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to, come up with. I'm going to prospect from this time to this time. I'm not going to think about making the calls. I'm just going to do them. I'm going to write my note cards.
Yeah.
And so on and so forth.
Right. Just follow that business plan.
And consistent. So
Yes.
I have newsletters that go out to my sphere, and that no matter what, I get that done.
Yes.
So I was able to hold on to one thing,
Yeah.
even though I couldn't get to specifically prospecting at a certain time or whatever. But I mean, I think it goes for any business, because even in the restaurant business, if you made a recipe, it had to be consistent.
Exactly.
Because the customer knew if it was different.
That's true. They know the difference. That's so true. What a great analogy.
Right. So,
Back to
and
that.
that's the only thing. So I know that my newsletters work. I know because they tell me.
Yes.
So that's one thing I could not stop.
Right. Exactly. It's a contribution to your sphere.
But I need to work on calling.
Yeah.
I went on a listing appointment 2 days ago, and that was a customer that I sold a place for them years ago, 6-7 years ago. And through the years, he's been having issues, but because I haven't kept in touch with him, I didn't know, and I could have helped him earlier than learning what I learned the other day, that I need to help him now, So I looked at him and I thought, I need to call people. I need to call people.
Right. Right.
I mean, he's local. I could have stopped by and
Sure.
just knocked on his door.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think one of the things that I started doing, because I've always struggled with that, with time blocking. It's always been a struggle for me. And I know it's so valuable.
Well, also you're a mom, you've raised 2 kids.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
But even within my business day, it's, because the business is always something's going on. If you have an appointment.
Oh, yeah, you work on your deals,
Right.
your mortgages.
Yeah, I've gotten better with specific time blocking. Like every Tuesday we have a pipeline call with my team, so that's just in the calendar. But what I've learned to do that's actually really helped me with certain things is I know what my business plan, like you're saying, I know what the business plan needs to do. I know what I need to do to make it successful for the week. So I actually have all of those tasks on a Sunday. And then on Monday morning or even Sunday night, I will move those tasks based on my calendar week. And that's really helped me. That's something that I learned from a coaching program and a Go Coaching with Amir, and I loved it.
So what's an example of that?
For example, I have buyers that are on our pre-approval list. I want to call and follow up with them. I used to have that on one specific time on Monday, but Mondays can get really busy, people from the weekend. So now what I do is I just have that on Sunday.
So Peter, you'll move him here.
Right. So just based on my follow-up, based on how my week looks, I know on Wednesday, maybe I'll have a 3-hour window, and I'll block that 3-hour window. But
and put them there.
I don't feel so much pressure to try to keep my schedule the same all the time.
Yeah.
So on Sunday, I actually have my business plan listed on Sundays in blocks of time. And then just based on what my week looks, I move them into where I know I can get them done.
I found that to be good too. That's what I do.
That's what helps me.
If I don't have my calendar, and for years I used a calendar and it could work for somebody or not, and I thought I could never transition to my phone.
Yeah.
Where I can have my calendar literally at my fingertips, but I have, and I color coordinate them.
Me too. Yeah.
And it just helps.
Oh man, the organization of a calendar is so important, and not just like appointments,
right?
Tasks. I put all my tasks, and I know what needs to be done because tasks have to be in space and time. They have to be done in a specific time. So just that's been so helpful to me. So whatever needs to be done is all on my calendar, and I just move things based on when I know I'll have the time to get it done, and I get everything done. Yeah, so it's very helpful. So looking back, let's say many years from now, you've have so much experience already, but many years from now, you're looking back on your career. What would you want your clients to remember you for?
Like that Rose really helped us. Like I helped them. They always say, years ago, that realtor, or, she really helped us, or, that was really good that, she sold us this, or that I helped them.
Well, they're definitely going to say that.
So I've had people come back to me and say, I just wanted to let you know what you said, and I didn't do that, like for there's certain situations, and, a mom was going to give $60,000 to her son to buy, and I said, you should really let him, in this particular situation, it was her life savings. And I said to her, you have to protect yourself. Like, it's okay if he doesn't buy this house. Like, he'll be, I knew he'd be okay. And then years later, it was the wrong thing to do. And she called me and she's like, I should have listened, because she put herself, and her son ultimately lost his life.
Oh man.
Because he was on drugs, and she was just enabling him.
Yeah.
And
that's a tough situation.
So this is a tough, but I know that just validated that I can, you feel people and you read people, and you just try and put them first before yourself.
And have the courage to say it.
And have the courage to say it.
Because I've been told, said that.
Sorry, I don't know if I could say this, but go screw yourself.
Right, it's okay.
Like, go mind your own business.
Right,
And I will.
Yeah.
I will mind my own business, but I'll let it go, because if I can help you in that moment, fine.
Yeah.
If you don't want to listen, then, or consider it, or you don't need that advice, that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm not taking it
Yeah, but when you feel compelled to share something, it's almost like we have a responsibility. I'm not saying to...
Well, you can't keep it in.
Right.
It's like, I can't keep it in.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I've learned to say...
I could be wrong, too,
that's exactly what I've learned to say. I've learned to say, listen, I'm just going to share with you what it comes up for me. I want to give you all your options. And if it's something that doesn't align with you, just let me know. But I just want to share everything with you. I don't want to leave anything out.
Right.
That's all.
Right.
Because sometimes we've gone through this process so many times that we do have information to share that can be helpful.
Correct. But help them.
Are they willing to hear it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That we leave it to them.
Yeah. Rose, I really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
I know you have to go show property and with our client today, so I thank you again. And I hope I know someone will hear this. I hope many people will learn from you, because you really are one of the best people and realtors.
Thank you, Lynn.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Me too.